Chopping it up with Ramel. I'm glad you could be aboard. Sorry that I kept you, but we got a lot to talk about. Feel free to chime in. So much to talk about. Let's get started. We're going to recap the NFL Super Bowl. I thought it was an outstanding Super Bowl. If you remember in the last show that I had, it was an emotional show because it was a tribute to Kobe Bryant. But if you remember, I said that I thought that Kansas City would win this game rather easily, and I thought they would win between 11 and 14 points. This wasn't the outcome that I expected. In fact, I thought that Kansas City would be winning the game all along. I didn't think that they would trail in this game going into the fourth quarter. But what they did was magnificent. Some might question if San Francisco lost the game or did Kansas City win the game. I don't believe in a team losing the game. I think that the team won the game. I thought Kansas City won the game. They capitalized on a couple of things that San Francisco did not do or did going down the stretch. And I just thought that going down the stretch, Kansas City was the better team. My reason for thinking that Kansas City would win this game rather easily because I thought that they would be able to shut down the run. Something that they did against Tennessee with the hot running Derrick Henry. I thought that they would be able to shut them down. And I was a little bit surprised that San Francisco, despite not winning the game, they did rush the ball and rushed the ball pretty well. I mean, they had 22 carries for 141 yards, and they gained 6.4 yards per carry. You know, with two of those carries for 2 yards being the quarterback. But I just thought that Kansas City would shut down and run and make it a game between Garoppolo and Mahomes. And with that said, I did not believe Mahomes I would have trouble making this a one-on-one game against Garoppolo. I just didn't think Garoppolo can keep up with Mahomes. And, you know, when you look at Garoppolo's numbers, you know, 20 for 31, 219 yards, a touchdown, and also a 2 interception. You know, it's not that they were bad numbers, but I think what affected Garoppolo more so than anything is the confidence level of Mike Shanahan he showed in him. I just think that he didn't utilize his passing, utilize him right in the passing game. You know, I just don't think he had confidence in it. And it showed in the second quarter going into half. You know, there was a play where they got the ball and you could see John Lynch, the GM, up in the booth, just screaming for a timeout. And for whatever reason, Mike Shanahan was content with going into half with a 10-10 lead, 10-10 tie, as if I don't want to take a chance and my guy throws a pick. Listen, this is the Super Bowl. There's no next week. It's now or never. You got to lay it out on the line. You got to throw it. I mean, to me, you go for every scoring opportunity possible. I mean, to leave 2 timeouts on the board in the first half going into halftime, you know, what does that say to your quarterback and to the rest of your team, to the players, that 10-10 at half is significant or it's enough? I just thought that right there was the downfall or the beginning of the downfall of the San Francisco 49ers. And simply because when you show no confidence in your quarterback, that has a trickle effect with the rest of the players. And even if he does go pick 6 going into halftime, maybe that motivates the defense to come out and look like the defense that we've seen all year. I just thought that Shanahan blew an opportunity to maybe at least take a 3-point lead going into halftime. But no, he decided to be conservative, overthink his hand, and I think it cost him in the long run. I think it came back to haunt him down the stretch. Now, you're in the fourth quarter, and you up, and you're doing some bonehead plays as a coach. Remember, this is the same guy that was the offensive coordinator on the Atlanta Falcons team when they was up 28-3 in the fourth quarter to the New England Patriots, and he found a way to muff that up and help New England secure a Super Bowl victory. I don't know about Mike Shanahan. If I'm John Lynch, I'm having a stern talk with this guy, or possibly, I might be looking to replace him. Do you know in the last 7 possessions under Mike Shanahan's watch in the Super Bowl, whether he's a head coach or offensive coordinator, going back to the Falcons New England Super Bowl, the last 7 possessions, he's been outscored 46-0. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. And both times he had the lead. I don't know if he can be trusted. On the other hand, what a great story for Andy Reid. Andy Reid, my guy, former Philadelphia Eagles head coach, one of the reasons why I picked them. Also, I just thought they were the better team because they was led by the better quarterback. But this is a great story. He gets a chance to finally get that big win. He sinks the money ball behind the efforts of his team, and especially of those of Patrick Mahomes and Damian Williams. In fact, the Super Bowl MVP trophy was won before the game started. It was Mahomes to lose. But you can make a case that Damian Williams, who ran for 100 yards with only 17 carries, had a touchdown, rushing touchdown, and a passing touchdown. You can make the case that he was MVP. But needless to say, Patrick Mahomes, perhaps the best quarterback in the game, showed why he's the best quarterback in the game, because when it mattered most, he came up big, and that was in the fourth quarter. Down the stretch. What Kansas City did was pretty much phenomenal. Down 20-10, scored 21 unanswered points. Just tremendous. That's a sign of a team sticking together, being motivated, not being down, not giving up. You had the Honey Badger. He was on the sidelines, getting in people's faces. He was screaming. He was saying this and that. You know, I mean, this was a great moment from him. His alma mater wins the collegiate championship, LSU, and then he turns around and wins the Super Bowl. And this guy's a player. He's as much valuable as on defense as Mahomes is on offense. So to listen to him and do what he does is just tremendous. And it motivated the team to a new level going down the stretch. I mean, you could say that this is what we've seen of them throughout the whole playoffs, sure. But this is it. This is all the marbles. And they came out strong towards the end, that second half of the fourth quarter, and they didn't let up. Pat Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, 26 for 42, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran one. Just outstanding performance down the stretch by the Kansas City Chiefs. Although it looked kind of bleak for them at times, but they held in there and they showed who they are, why they were there. And Patrick Mahomes is now the darling of the NFL. He's the youngest to win MVP in the regular season and MVP in the Super Bowl. And oh, by the way, he has a championship. He could be, I know people are talking about Michael Jordan comparison. Let's slow the roll on that. But I will give him, he's the Steph Curry of the NFL right now. And he may be taking that path. So do I think this is the last? Is this the last of Patrick Mahomes going to the Super Bowl? No. We're going to see him again. We will see him again. The question is how many times? Does he have the chance to be the best quarterback in the game or the best player in the game for years to come? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's 2 quarterbacks in the AFC East that if I'm him, I pay attention to because they're just as good as he. Well, not as good as he, but they're on the come up and they're on the rise and they're making noise in their own right. That's one, Lamar Jackson, who was the league's MVP. And I'm not giving up on Deshaun Watson. Once Houston strengthen up that offensive line, that could be a team of the future. That could be a problem. I'm looking at the AFC East for the next few years to come be a battle between Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes. Occasionally another team might sneak in there because of a one-year wonder. I don't see anybody right now who that can be. I don't think it's Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. I also think they're going to trade Odell Beckham. So right now, the foreseeable future, the AFC East is going to be in the hands of Kansas City, Baltimore, and Houston. Unless Cam Newton makes his way out to perhaps Tennessee. Cam Newton may make his way out to possibly Denver. Something like that can happen and change things around. But right now, I don't see it. New England, we don't know if Brady is coming back. And even if Brady's coming back, if he's taking $30 million plus, is that going to affect him on the free agency world to sew up some holes? So I think that New England's run might have come to an end unless somehow or another in the back of the first round, they happen to draft a quarterback stud that somehow slipped and he makes his way to the top. But I just don't see it. I think that the run in New England is pretty much, the Super Bowl run is over. Playoff run, they could continue to contend. I don't see any changes there. They probably will continue to contend there, but the Super Bowl run is over. So now that the NFL has come to a close, I'm not an XFL fan, so I won't be talking about that. I would be looking forward to the draft sometime in April, but this is a good way to transition to the NBA because right now the NBA is hot and heavy. The NFL thrilled us, gave us some great moments. Lamar Jackson was incredible. The 49ers, despite losing, I think that we will see them again. This is not the last of them. Just that Mike Shanahan has got to get wiser as a signal caller and as a head coach. And Garoppolo, he just got to continue to get stronger. The defense will be stronger. The running game will be effective. But now it's time to talk NBA. Today, if you're a Knicks fan, you may be happy today. Yes, if you're a Knicks fan, you just might be happy today. The news came down not too long ago. Steve Mills has been fired. He's no longer working for the New York Knicks. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what decisions Steve Mills actually made in the past, whether it was under Phil Jackson or when he was in charge. But I tell you this, I thought it was time for him to go. I really do. The New York Knicks is a storied franchise that's just been in turmoil for years. The New York Knicks have been in turmoil for years. I root for the Knicks thick and thin. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to root for them. I watched the game last night. Thought it was a quality win. I don't care if it was against the Cavs. I'm a Knicks fan. And fan is short for fanatic. But when I heard the news today that Steve Mills has been fired, I couldn't be happier. I actually like Scott Perry. I don't know if Scott Perry is the guy to assume the duties of operation of the Knicks, but I do think he has an eye for talent. I think that he is somebody we should hold on and someone we should keep. I'm curious to see if the Knicks is going to make any moves right now before the deadline, which is 2 days away. They're going to need to make a move. But I do like Scott Perry. Scott Perry had a hand in building the Detroit Pistons when they was assembled with Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace. That team went on to compete in 5 Eastern Conference championship and eventually went to the finals and won against the Lakers. Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Gary Payton, Karl Malone didn't play that series. But he's had a hand. He has a hand with picking some talent down there in Sacramento that seems to be on the rise. So to me, he's got an eye. I'm curious to see what he can do in a limited role, and I want to see what he can do in the next 2 days. From what I've read, apparently him and Mills didn't see eye to eye. So I don't know what was it that they didn't see eye to eye on, but I'm going to tell you as a Knicks fan today, it's good news. To see that Steve Mills is ousted. It's good news. 2 years ago when they hired Fizdale and Scott Perry came on board, I was like, this is pretty cool. We got a nice little African-American team going on. President of Operation, African-American. GM, African-American. Head coach, African-American. That's kind of nice. That was cool. The only team in the league that had it. Didn't last 2 years. Not even a year and a half. Because, as you know, Fizdale was fired recently, about a month ago. And now today, Steve Mills is gone. I couldn't be happier. I do think the Knicks need to make some trades. I hope they don't trade Randle for Terry Rozier. I never like trading bigs for small. Not only that, I think that Randle is the better player than Rozier. Rozier is what we need, but not at the expense of Randle. I hope that's not your first move, Scott Perry. We talk about load management in the NBA, and yes, the Clippers right now are definitely benefiting from load management. They're using it to their best advantage. But I got a question for you all out there. Who are the best? Who's the best team in the Western Conference? I'm going on record to say it's the Clippers. Although the Lakers have the better record, and they're 3 games ahead of the Clippers in first place, as the Clippers are now in second place, I got to tell you something. For the most part, the Lakers have been relatively injury-free. Yeah, you had an injury to Rondo. Yeah, Kuzma missed a couple of games early on. Anthony Davis had a stretch where he missed about maybe 4 or 5 games, 6 games. But for the most part, they've been healthy. LeBron has played pretty much every game. Okay? The Lakers have not had any significant injuries. However, the Clippers have had significant injuries. And we all know that they're making the most out of load management. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But for this team to utilize load management, have the injuries that they have, and only to be 3 games behind the Lakers, that tells me that the Clippers are the better team in the West. They're the best team out West. I believe that when the Clippers and the Lakers face each other in the finals, the Lakers is going home. The Lakers cannot beat the Clippers in a series as a symbol. And if they make a trade of trading Kuzma, they better make sure they hit on their return, because I'm on record now, trading Kuzma will be a mistake. First of all, Kuzma only makes $3 million. In the NBA, you don't trade for talent, you trade for salaries. You're not going to get back what you need to make a difference in your run at $3 million. What you need to do, if you're the Lakers, hold on to Kuzma and put him in the starting lineup. Kuzma is the kind of guy that needs to be effective when he has sweat on his back. He needs to go from the layup line to jump ball. He's not a spark plug. He's not an energized bunny. He's not a Lou Williams type. He's not a Jamal Crawford type. He's not a Vinnie Johnson type. The microwave. He's a guy that needs to start the game as the starter, and you get the best of him. Having him come off the bench, you're not utilizing him. That is why he's been so inconsistent. Kuzma is a solid player. As a Knicks fan, I like Marcus Morris. I like what he brings to the table, and I like what he gives the Knicks. But if the Lakers want him and want to give us Kuzma, I'm making the phone call myself. That's the respect that I have for Kuz. I just think that the Lakers are utilizing him. But as we speak right now, I believe the Lakers will lose to the Clippers in the finals, in the Western Conference Finals, as a symbol. I think that the Clippers are just a much better team. Who wins the eighth? Who wins the eighth seed out west? Yeah, I woke up this morning. There's a little Twitter war going on between Ja Morant and Steph Curry. It's kind of entertaining. But you know what? Let's get past that. Let's talk about who wins the West. The eighth spot, I should say. Who wins the eighth spot? Right now, the young Memphis Grizzlies are in the eighth spot. They got a 2-game lead against Portland. Portland is being led by Dame Time. It's just outstanding what he's doing. What he is doing is outstanding. I don't know. In his last 6 games, he's averaging 48.8, 10 assists, and like 7 rebounds. Unbelievable what Dame Lillard is doing right now. And soon, Nurkic will be back, and Collins will be back. There's a chance in the next month they'll have their team complete. The trade of Trevor Ariza is a sneaky trade. It may pay dividends in the long run. Hassan Whiteside, all of a sudden he's woke up and realized that he's in a contract year and he's playing a little bit ball, Hassan Whiteside. My question to you all, who will win the eighth seed, the eighth spot out west? Will it be the young Memphis Grizzlies? Could Portland overtake them? Could San Antonio use their DNA to get that spot? And at 5 games away from the eighth spot, can the Pelicans make a run? Me personally, I think Portland gets that spot. I think that the young players out of Memphis is playing on adrenaline, momentum. They're being led by a rookie player and a rookie head coach. I think the All-Star break is going to derail their momentum. I believe that they will least benefit from the All-Star break, while Portland will benefit most. I think Portland overtakes that spot. And I think it's good for the West that they do, because when was the last time 2 teams from the Western Conference Finals the season before doesn't make the playoffs? I don't think I ever seen that before. Because Golden State ain't making the playoffs. So I look for Portland to overtake that 8th spot. I think they get in. I think Portland, their experience, the veteran leadership of Damian Lillard, he looks like he cannot be denied right now. I think they get in the 8th spot. But that doesn't diminish what Memphis has done. I think Memphis has a chance to hang around, and they're a team of the future. Maybe they just need to let it grow, continue to nurture it, and whatever you do to grow a team, continue that, because they got something special over there. Jaren Jackson Jr., the game is a lot easier for him. Dylan Brooks, he's benefiting from having Ja Morant on the court. Jay Crowder, I think they need to hold on to him. He does a lot of the dirty work, and he provides a veteran presence there. And, Valanciunas, whenever the game slows down, he's someone you can get the ball to and get you an easy basket. So they have it from multiple ways. It's just a matter of letting it grow. To you Boston fans, rumor is that the Houston Rockets are looking to trade. I repeat, looking to trade Clint Capella. And Boston is one of the suitors. I tell you, if Boston can get their hand on Clint Capella, and at the expense of Gordon Hayward, they're going to the finals. You heard it here first. If Clint Capella makes his way to Boston and all they lose is Gordon Hayward and maybe a draft pick or 2, Boston is headed to the finals. I think that what Jason Tatum is doing at the power forward spot is commendable. But I don't think he's a power forward. I think Jason Tatum is a small forward. What Tice is doing at the center spot is very commendable. But I don't think he's a center. He's actually a backup power forward at best. Now you put Capello there to grab rebounds. Get it out to Kemba. Ignite that fast break. And now you have on the wings Brown and Tatum. And then you got a trailer and Capella who you could throw a lob to. That'd be too much. And now they can match up size with Philly. They can match up size with Toronto. You know what? When Giannis is driving to the basket, now they have a rim protector there. This move smells finals written all over. It spells finals written all over it. If I'm the Boston Celtics, I'm getting this trade done to bring Capella to Boston for Gordon Hayward. I'm not touching Tatum, not touching Brown. I barely touch Marcus Smart. But if Boston can get their hands on him, absolutely. It's a no-brainer, especially for Gordon Hayward. And I have to question, what is Houston thinking? Really, what are they thinking to let go of Capella? I mean, the guy doesn't disrupt your offense at all. At all. If anything, he can ignite it with his rebounding. This is D'Antoni trying to save D'Antoni's job. Go small, run up and down on everybody. Come on. At some point in the playoffs, the game slows down. It becomes more of a half-court offense. And that's when you're going to need a big fella. You're going to need a defender. Even the Clippers is talking about adding a center because they know that in the playoffs, the game slows down. This is a mistake by Houston. It really is. It's a mistake by Houston. But if you're a Boston fan, you got to love it. If Boston can pull off the Capella trade, look out, East. Look out, East. Look out. And if I'm Miami, I'll be interested in Drummond. For the same reason. For the same reason. Bam is having a tremendous year, and he's rightfully so. He's an all-star. But you put him in the power forward position where he naturally belongs. And you let Drummond do the dirty work. And when the game slows down, just dump it down to him. You know, Drummond and Capella, they're not looking for anything. They're not looking for anything at all. They're not. They're there to do dirty work. And occasionally let them touch the ball so they feel like they're part of the team. But if Boston can get their hands on Capella or Drummond, it's a no-brainer. They're going to the finals. And the same goes for Miami. If they can get their hands on Drummond, they will make a good run towards going to the finals. So the trade deadline is Thursday at 1 o'clock. No, at 3 o'clock, I believe. I'm not sure if there's going to be a lot of moves or not. There's a lot of speculation. But right now, the biggest move of the day or the biggest news of the day, the Knicks fired Steve Mills. The Knicks fired Steve Mills. That is huge. We'll see what happens. Keep you updated. Keep you posted. This is Ramel for Chopping It Up with Ra. Peace and blessings. See you next time.